Hi everyone, hi YouTube. My name is Lisa. I am a forest and nature school practitioner and somewhat of a child and advocate for play. I just wanted to offer a little commentary here about some of the really interesting things that I've seen and noticed in the last 2 years working in this field. So I used to be a kind of a language educator of sorts in Korea. And I came back to Canada because I saw this very interesting video that had been posted on, I think it was BBC UK, about forest and nature kindergartens from Denmark. These kids were sliding down the hills and throwing rocks in the water and getting mud all over their face. Some of them were up the tree, and it was amazing. So I flew back to this country of Canada to really immerse myself in this kind of philosophy here. Very luckily, I worked in two different places. Both of them were private schools, of course. You can imagine that this would not be able to happen at a licensed child care center. Due to obviously liability and many other reasons. But I was really lucky to get into these places to kind of see for myself if this was a good way to let children learn and explore. Um, and for the most part, I can say it is, definitely. So one of the things that I noticed is that children's are not risk averse, but adults are risk averse. So that's one of the things I noticed. Children will try things. They have an interest in doing something that might be a bit thrilling or a little bit risky, which could be you running at a fast speed down a hill, or whittling a stick with a knife, rough and tumble play with a friend, things that our parents and our grandparents were doing all the time. But now we actually have a name for that, which is risky play, because we're actually bringing those things are coming back, and now we're studying them as an academic subject because they've basically disappeared from our society due to this, helicopter parenting, risk averse society that we've somehow created for children. So it's been very, very interesting to just be able to witness kids do risky play within boundaries, and stay safe and be safe. I never had any injuries, knock on wood. I never had any injuries. None of the kids hurt themselves. They were very good at taking care of themselves. They were very good at following the boundaries and the rules that we had presented. They trust themselves. They trust each other. And the only injury that I did have was with a kid who slid. He was sliding on like a water grate when it was raining, which was a man-made surface, and had to get some stitches on his leg. It wasn't serious, but that was the only injury. And so most definitely we are risk averse, and we need to check ourselves as adults and figure out why are we so afraid of letting children try something that would be a little bit risky, even, the second thing is, when we allow children to engage in those types of risky play, it gives us an opportunity as educators and as parents to talk to the children about how to notice, how to observe, stop, notice if there are any risks, and to be able to assess the possibility of a risk and how to mitigate the risk. Through my course, I'm actually taking the course through the Ottawa um, Nature and Child Alliance. They have a Forest and Nature School practitioners course. They're teaching us, instead of saying don't be careful, be careful, be careful, it's better to tell the kids what are we trying to tell them. So be careful doesn't mean anything if you're not telling them, well, why are you telling me to be careful? Maybe we need to say, put your foot on that branch, and then, okay, let's put your hand on this branch and hold here, and then let's go together, we're taking away all of these amazing learning opportunities for children. So as we're experiencing COVID, as we're experiencing an environment right now that we're unaware, we don't know what's going to happen, it's really important to let children do these things because it prepares them for changes, it prepares them for the unknown, it prepares them to have resilience to deal with very difficult, risky situations such as the pandemic, and how to just push on and push through even when things become challenging or tricky or a little bit risky, right? So those are some of the things that I have noticed. On another side, in another rant, I guess, childcare centers, play areas are very enriching. I don't know if it's just the ones that I've been at. I've been at some Montessori places and just noticed that there's no natural elements. Even at a Montessori school where they've got a bit more freedom, they're still following the Child Care Act. So if you're thinking about sending your child, or you need to send your child to childcare, the first thing that I would notice is there any grass? Is there any grass in the area for them, for the outdoor area? Is it turf grass? A lot of them are turf grass. The reason for this is children actually need to touch with their hands, with their skin, soil, and natural elements. Things that are helpful are for them are like moss and peat moss. Even you can get for childcare centers, and put it there in a pile. Dirt and mud and things that you would find outside, because it actually affects scientifically. There's some studies now coming out where they've actually taken a daycare center outdoor space and kind of make it wild. They've put a bunch of things there, mud and grass, and they've taken forest floors and completely covered it with the forest floor. And they were comparing the children who were in that space versus the children who were in the original space, and taking stool samples. They were able to actually empirically study the differences in their microbiome, and they found that the microbiome of the children who had been in that kind of forest floored area, it actually changed their microbiome. It actually improved their health. It improved their immune system. It improved that because our microbiome in our gut is actually kind of our second brain, right? It's our immune system is there. So again, now that we know all about immune system health and why that's so important, that's another reason why we really need to let kids be outside. But really, it's not just being outside, it's touching the forest floor and getting into the the depth of the forest, basically. So those are a couple of things that I've noticed so far. I'm continuing this research, and I'm continuing to work on my own programming, I have a forest and nature school that I'm designing and hopefully soon to be opening up once I finish my certification called Joie de Vivre, forestandnatureschool.com. You can check out my website. Also getting Montessori training and learning about how to integrate kind of forest and nature school into the Montessori setting, and have some resources on Teachers Pay Teachers. My resources are named Montessori Outdoors. You can find my curriculum that's there. I've got practical life, sensorial, language, math, and culture albums for the outdoors. So I've created that as well. So if you are a forest and nature school practitioner and also have some experience in this area and like to make some comments below, that'd be great. We can start up a conversation. If you're a parent wanting to know more about this, feel free to contact me on my website. And if you are just an educator who's interested in getting involved more in forest and nature school, also contact me and I can let you know how that's going for me. We can change it, working together, educators, parents, policymakers, architects, making playscapes. That's the future. I really see that, and I just wanted to offer up some information about the things I've noticed. That's it. Bye.